Where's the next season? Where is it? Jack Reacher on my block is Outer Banks. Then we have Luke Cage and Attack on Titan. Money Heist is the type of writer that I aspire to be. Hey, I'm Jordan. Welcome back to my channel, Written and Created, where I just be talking my script and reacting to shows and movies. I can't believe this channel has reached well over 100 subscribers so quickly. My mind is blown, and I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you so much to those who have left show and movie suggestions in the comments. That's really helpful. I've been keeping a list, and I definitely plan to react to each of them. But this comment helped me realize that y'all don't know what shows I've watched and what shows I haven't watched, and that might be helpful. So that gave me the idea to create a list of all the shows I've ever watched. And of course, I can't remember every single show, but this list has been growing for weeks, and it's getting pretty hefty. So I've broken it down into 4 categories. We have the heavy binge, the medium binge, the light binge, and then we have the list of shows that I bailed on. Now, fair warning, trigger warning, just a heads up. This list of shows that I bailed on is going to piss you off. There are very popular shows, there are Emmy award-winning shows, and I don't necessarily have a reason for why I bailed on some of them. So we'll start with heavy binge. This is a list of shows that I watched really consistently, as fast as my schedule would allow for. And sometimes I would stay up watching these shows until my eyes hurt. First, we have 90210, one of my early binge shows. I really enjoyed this one. I feel like I wouldn't mind going back and rewatching this. It's a teenage drama. Then the next show is also a teenage drama. It's All American.
The more I think about it, the more I realize how traumatic this show was. Like, these kids went through a lot. They went through hell.
Are You the One is a reality dating show. You won't see a lot of reality shows on my list, but this one is really cute. Basically, there's a group of people who live in a house together, and they have to figure out who their perfect match is, and the matches were picked by a matchmaker. Big Little Lies season 1. I had to go back and watch a recap of this to remember what exactly it was about, and then when I watched the recap, I was like, why didn't I watch season 2? This was really good. So I definitely plan to go back and watch season 2. It is a drama series with Reese Witherspoon, Nicole Kidman, and Zoe Kravitz. Bridgerton, a historical romance drama. The Crowded Room. It took me a minute to get into this one. I want to say by the time I got to the end of episode 2, I was fully committed, but it did take a minute. Degrassi. This is one of the first shows I've ever binge watched, and I think I was in high school when I binge watched it, and I feel like if I were to go back and rewatch it, it would still hold up. Dynasty. Dynasty is a remake, and I don't know that I can say it's a really good show, the best quality writing and acting, but it was good enough to keep my attention, and I think there are several seasons and several episodes within those seasons. Emily in Paris, really cute. You're gonna see a lot of cute shows like this on my list. I really enjoyed Emily in Paris. And then I have Jenny and Georgia, the drama. If you have not watched this show, it's on Netflix. I really enjoyed this one. Girlfriends. I was so happy when they put this on Netflix. I had seen a few episodes when I was younger, but it was really good to be able to watch it from beginning to end. Good Girls is a good watch.
Hey, mama. How you feeling, mama? You need to set limits, mama. You know that.
But the last few episodes of the last season, I just became really annoyed with the main character, Beth. The show is really good. I'm just over her. You're getting on my nerves. So I binge watched this show hard, and then at the end I'm just like, I can't do this. I need to take a break. And I haven't gone back to it to see how it ends, but I definitely plan to finish it. Good Trouble is a spinoff of The Fosters. I definitely recommend watching both series. Grey's Anatomy. I'm a very loyal Grey's Anatomy watcher. I am actually caught up on all 19 seasons. Hannah on Amazon is an action series. I watched season 1 and season 2, and I was good with the way season 2 ended. I felt like it was conclusive. I didn't think there was going to be a season 3. So when season 3 did come out, I was like, what is this? It didn't feel like the same show. What am I watching? So I only got through half of the first episode of season 3, but now that it's been some time, maybe I can go back and continue watching season 3. But I do love a good action series, so if you have any shows that you feel like are similar to this, I would love to hear your suggestions. Harlem stars Megan Good and Grace Byers. It's pretty cute and relatable. I'm curious to see what they do in season 3. Insecure. I don't know why this show did not hook me right away. Season 1, episode 1, I watched it and I was just like, eh. And then later down the line, there were 3 seasons out, and I decided to revisit it, and I binged it in just a few nights. Jack Reacher is another action series I really enjoyed, and there's a season 3 coming out, so I can't wait for that. Lincoln Heights is one of my back in the day series that I've been super relatable neighborhood drama series. Little Fires Everywhere. Where's the next season? Where is it? Because I really enjoyed watching this. I actually bought the book and didn't read it, story of my life, but I just want to see another season of this. Can we get that, please? It was really good. I almost forgot about this one. Misfits is really good. It's about juvenile delinquents who get superpowers. Money Heist is one of the most addictive shows I've ever watched. Never Have I Ever. This is another one of those really cute teenage drama series. On My Block is definitely on my list of favorite shows. I really like how they portrayed this neighborhood without overdoing the stereotypes. One Tree Hill is another one of the first few shows that I binge watched. I've actually read the script for the pilot episode, and I'm really into the development of each character. Outer Banks is on Netflix. It's a teenage drama with a lot of action. Perfect Match is another reality dating show. I don't really remember the concept of it, but I do remember that I watched it really quickly. Queen Charlotte is an absolutely beautiful story. You have to watch this one. Revenge, oldie but goodie. Secret Life of American Teenager. I am embarrassed that this is on my list. I stayed up late nights watching this show, and I have no idea why. Sex Lives of College Girls. I cannot wait for another season of this. Snowfall. I want to say I watched up to season 3, and then season 4 kind of got a little weird, and I was like, what is this? And I had to take a break from it, but then when I came back, I binged it pretty heavily. It might have been season 3 that happened, but either way, I did take a break from it, but when I came back, I was like, oh, this is good. Another heavy binge is Sons of Anarchy. I'm going to be oversimplifying this, I'm sure, but it's basically about a motorcycle club. The show star really pissed me off because the last episode of the last season ends with the biggest cliffhanger ever. A wedding gets shot up and you don't know who dies. Like, who does that? And then the show doesn't get renewed. And they are talking about maybe creating a movie, but I don't think that's going to happen. Another show that ends like that is Hawthorne with Jada Pinkett Smith. I don't remember exactly what happens, but I know it ends on a cliffhanger and then it never gets renewed. That, like, ooh, why do they do that? Anyways, Survival of the Thickest. If you enjoyed Harlem Insecure, then I feel like you'll enjoy this. It's a really cute show. Swagger on Apple TV. I watched this one out of curiosity because I knew a few people that worked on this production, and I ended up watching it with my dad in less than a week. The Bold Type is on Hulu. It's cute, full of drama, but very inspirational. The Fosters, The Last Thing He Told Me, The Other Black Girl, which is a fairly new show. The Wilds, which is on Amazon. You've heard me mention this show before because I'm watching Yellow Jackets, and clearly there are a lot of similarities. They're both about a plane crash that leaves teenage girls stranded. Trinkets is another cute teen drama. Twisted made me mad because of the way it ended and then didn't get renewed. Unprisoned is adorable and heartwarming. It's with Kerry Washington, and I believe it's based on a true story. Vampire Diaries. I started watching that after I one day randomly decided to watch all of the Twilight series in one night. The Walking Dead. I feel like I was pretty loyal to this show. The last few episodes I remember watching were the ones with the community with the white armor. The show What If with Keith Powers. White Lotus, which was heavily recommended to me by some coworkers. Yellow Jackets, which I have reaction videos for on my channel. The show Dead to Me is definitely on my list of favorites. There's a lot of setups and payoffs that I didn't see coming. Firefly Lane is a really cute show on Netflix. And I feel like this is another show that the setups and payoffs are just magnificent. But not only that, I feel like they do really well with not making the archetype of each character overdone. You don't feel like, okay, we get it. This character is a lawyer who makes a lot of money. Like, it's really subtle, and I really enjoy that about this show. Squid Games had me on the edge of my seat, and I can't wait to see what they do in this next season. Silo is also an Apple TV series. I binged this in 2 days, and I honestly can't even say that I loved it. I just wanted to get through it because I wanted answers. It definitely did a good job of keeping me curious, but when I got to the end, I was like, eh. I just felt like they didn't answer enough of my questions. Like, I understand that a show has to leave some questions unanswered so that they can explore it in future episodes, but you could have gave me something. Then we have Luke Cage and Jessica Jones. I really enjoy these series. Y'all know I love a series with a lot of action, and these two are definitely action-packed. Medium binge. These are shows that I started off watching really consistently, and there were nights where I would stay up watching it, but eventually I just lost interest. 911. 13 Reasons Why, Abbott Elementary, Love the show. It's absolutely adorable. All American Homecoming fell really short in comparison to All American, in my opinion. Atlanta. I watched this show up until they left the country and then they kind of lost me. But I did watch 2 episodes from the most recent season. I watched the one about Lake Lanier because I was living in Atlanta and I was just curious. And then when I found out I was going to be working at Tyler Perry Studios, I went and watched the episode about Tyler Perry Studios. Absolutely hilarious. Attack on Titan. I'm not a huge anime fan, but I really like this one. It's a lot of action and some really great storylines. Blood and Water is a really good Netflix series, but when I went back to watch season 2, I was like, I don't even remember these people. What's going on? I tried to watch some recap videos on YouTube and nothing. Like, it just wasn't clicking for me. I couldn't get back into the show. Community is absolutely hilarious. I don't even know when or why I fell off from watching that show, but I did. Dear White People, I feel like the show was good. I just don't remember much about it, and I don't feel like I watched it consistently. Like, I just watched it here and there. Then we have Empire. I feel like that was like my junk food of TV series. Like, I only had it in moderation. There was only so much I could take because it's very cheesy.
She make that thing go. Trip, trippity, trip.
But very entertaining. Euphoria is one of those shows where I felt like it was kind of heavy and I had to watch it in doses, but it was definitely visually captivating and I felt like everyone else around me was more into it than I was, but it was still a good show. One day I took an edible and watched that show. Oh my gosh, trippy. I don't recommend that. For Life is on Hulu. It's about a guy who goes to prison and studies to become a lawyer so that he can represent himself. Another really heavy show. I think I had to take a break from it and come back to it. Like, I was in and out on the show for sure. Full Metal Alchemist. I watched this show pretty consistently and I don't know at what point I fell off, but I did. Next we have Gossip Girl. I was late to the party with this one, but once I started watching it, I was watching it really consistently until one day I was watching Emily in Paris and they spoil who Gossip Girl is. So I was like, I don't want to watch this anymore. Like, no warning. They just tell you who Gossip Girl is. So if you're watching Emily in Paris and plan to watch Gossip Girl, they spoil it for you. Just a warning. Then we have Grownish. I wanted so much more from this show. It was cute, but it wasn't great, honestly. I watched it pretty consistently because I just wanted something to watch when I woke up on Fridays. It would like air on the CW and then come out on Hulu the next morning. So I watched it, but it was just okay. The Lincoln Lawyer was just okay, but I finished it. Power. I watched that pretty consistently. Then I took a break, got caught up, and then watched Power Book 2, and I'm all caught up on that as well. I did not finish watching. I don't even remember what it's called. It should be on my bail list, but I can't even remember what it's called. The one with Tommy. I didn't watch that. It wasn't doing it for me. Pretty Little Liars. I binged this for a while, but then eventually I just got so tired of Arya and Ezra's storyline. Like, it's exhausted. I'm exhausted. I don't want to watch anymore. Scandal. I don't know why I took a break from this show. It's well written and the storyline is really exciting. I don't have any answers. I have no idea why I took a break. But when I went back, I finished it pretty quickly. Shameless. Shameless is on my medium binge because it just got so chaotic that I had to take a break from it. I'm like, oh, this is a lot going on. I don't think I would mind going back to watching it, but I just needed a break. This Is Us. This show is so well written. When I tell you this is the type of writer that I aspire to be, chef's kiss, this show is amazing. Then we have Younger. This show is super cute, but I just put it on in the background while I was working. I feel like it was one of those shows that once you watched a few episodes and got to know the characters, you didn't necessarily have to watch in order to continue watching, if you know what I mean. Like, I could be on my phone, I could be doing work and still understand and be caught up on what's going on. Manifest, sometimes it was good and sometimes it was annoying. I definitely love the concept of this plane like disappearing and there's a blimp of time and they come back and everybody else is older and they're not, and that's really cute. But like, sometimes I'm like, what is going on? It got to be a bit much and I eventually just stopped watching. Then we have The Boys. The Boys is really good and I don't know why I haven't finished it yet. It's definitely on my list of shows to continue watching.
I forgot Designated Survivor, which is a really exciting Netflix series, and it kept my attention for quite a while, but eventually I did stop watching.
And now for the light binge category. This is a short list. So we have A Million Little Things, which I feel like I binged this lightly because it's a really emotional show. It's really heavy. And then we have Black Mirror. I watched episodes here and there. I didn't feel like it was necessary for me to binge watch this. I could just watch it when I felt like it. And then we have Riverdale. I don't remember why I stopped watching Riverdale, but I don't know. I wanted to be into Stranger Things so bad. Like, I want to go back to it because I feel like all the cool kids watch Stranger Things. Maybe I'm just not cool. I watched the entire first season, but then I got to the second season and it just lost my interest. Maybe I just need to go back and give it another chance. Let me know what you think. Teen Wolf. I only watched this because I found out I was going to be working on the movie, but I actually ended up liking it. What We Do in the Shadows is a similar situation. I found out I was going to be working for a director who worked on What We Do in the Shadows, and this show is hilarious. I really like it. Another light binge is The Game of Thrones. And I don't know why I didn't get into this show when it was actually airing, but I started watching it after the series completed and everyone was talking about how disappointed they were in the ending, and I feel like that really influenced why I watched it so slowly, and I'm actually not caught up on The Game of Thrones. I know. I'm thinking about watching The House of Dragon and seeing if that helps me to get more into it, because it's another one of those shows where I feel like, oh, I'm not a cool kid because I can't chime in on these conversations about this show. So yeah, I definitely want to go back and watch this. Next, we have my Bell list. This is the list of shows that I did not continue after watching just 1 or 2 episodes. First up, we have Succession. Ugh, I just couldn't get into it. I know it's so good. It wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. I feel like I gave this show a really fair chance, and maybe just where I am in life right now, it's just not for me. I feel like it may be one of those shows where I watch it months from now and I'm like, oh wow, this is really good. Swarm. I wanted to like this, but it was just too much for me. The Bear's on Hulu and I've heard a lot of really good things about it, but I also started watching it when I started watching the Yellow Jackets, and I feel like I'm just in the space where I have to watch one show at a time. So maybe I'll go back to this, I don't know, but I've only watched the episode and a half so far, and Yellow Jackets won over The Bear. Who is Aaron Carter? First of all, I'm really annoyed with the name because why did you choose Aaron Carter? Like, I know it's spelled differently, but y'all couldn't come up with nothing else. You know who we think of when we hear the name Aaron Carter. Stop playing. Also, I watched the first episode with my dad and he was just like, turn this off. And I completely agree. It was not good. You on Netflix. I want to watch this. I really do. But honestly, anything with home invasions and stalkers, things like that, I can't watch it. It's too realistic. It could really happen. And I'm not feeling that. But I've heard great things about it. I am just too much of a scary cat to watch it. The first episode freaked me out. I'm like, this guy's outside her window. She don't see him. I'm not feeling it. I think the only reason I didn't continue watching Alice in Borderland is because I had just finished watching Squid Games and I just needed a break from that type of show. The Morning Show on Apple TV. I heard really good things about this, and I typically love anything that Reese Witherspoon is involved with. But for some reason, this just didn't catch my attention right away. I think I just need to go back and rewatch it and give it more of a fair chance. Also on my list of shows that I did not continue watching, we have Wednesday, P-Valley, and Rap Shit. Now, Wednesday and P-Valley, I feel like I could go back and continue watching those shows. But Rap Shit, I feel like it just wasn't for me.
Somehow I managed to skip the whole first half of my Bell list, but here we go, rapid fire. Sex Education. I only watched 1 episode of this, but my friends say that it's really good. I watched 1.5 episodes of Beef. Someone at work told me to watch it. It just wasn't for me. Citadel. I don't know. I need to revisit this because for some reason, every time I sat down to watch it, I didn't get past the first few scenes. Class of '09 started a little slow for me, but I feel like I just need to give it a chance because I do think it's going to be good. Girl Boss just wasn't for me. I know How to Get Away with Murder has a huge fan base, but I feel like it's just too late for me to hop on this one. And I feel the same way about Orange is the New Black. I think I watched a few episodes of this. I know Ozark is supposed to be an amazing show, and every time it pops up, I'm like, I need to finish that, but I haven't finished the first episode. I literally Googled shows like Harlem when I finished watching Harlem, and this came up, but I wasn't feeling it. I've started this show several times. It's just not clicking for me, and I don't know why. I finished Luke Cage and Jessica Jones and wanted to watch something similar, but for some reason I didn't finish this, and I also didn't finish The Flash. I have no idea why.
And that's it. That's the list. Now that you know what shows I like and what shows I'm not so crazy about, I would love to hear your TV series and movie suggestions. So go ahead and leave them down in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.